let me ask you, man. I threw this on, so I apologize. I didn't really put this on the agenda, but I did want to ask you this, something NBA related. Steve Kerr got his 600th win. Steve Kerr recently got his 600th win, making him the fourth fastest coach to reach that milestone behind Phil Jackson, Pat Riley, and Greg Popovich. He's obviously won 4 championships and a Coach of the Year. He's been named Coach of the Year one time. Where do you see him in the pantheon of great coaches?
Nowhere.
So I think the universal Mount Rushmore, right, of great head coaches is Auerbach, Phil Jackson, Pat Riley, Popovich, right? That's the four faces of,
I can roll with that.
You know what I'm saying? And then there's tiers below that, right?
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think, like, the next tier is probably, like, Chuck Daly's in there.
Larry Brown.
Yeah, yep. Larry Brown is he's a great name. Rudy Tomjanovich, I think, would be in there.
Jerry Sloan.
Yeah, I like Jerry Sloan. Jerry Sloan's a great one. Pick and roll, you know what I'm saying? I mean, what offensive set is run more than
Lenny
the pick and roll?
Wilkins.
Yep. Yeah, he's in there. But where do you see Steve Kerr? I mean, because obviously he's got the 4 championships, you know, and I know that there's some question about him strategically, right? And you know, you look at Pop, right? So let me just kind of lay it out. So obviously Pop won exclusively with Duncan. Auerbach exclusively with Bill Russell as a coach, and of course he had his time as an executive. Phil Jackson and Pat Riley managed to get it done with a couple of different regimes. Pat obviously with the Showtime Lakers, and then in 06 with D Wade and Shaq. And oddly enough, too, I think he won Coach of the Year 3 times, neither as a Lakers coach or as the Heat coach. Knicks. Every time with the Knicks, yeah.
That's how great Michael Jordan was, folks.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, indeed.
That's all that means. Over years, they thought that over years the media thought the Knicks were good enough to beat the Bulls. That's all that means, folks. That's all that shit means.
And then Steve Kerr is going to be one of those guys with all of his championship successes going to be tied to Steph Curry because, you know, not to be foreboding, but I don't believe that he will coach it for another championship again. Now, I could be wrong, but I don't believe that he's going to do that again.
Right.
You know, I don't believe he's going to be like Pat Riley and go on and build another great team and then end up coaching that team to a championship. But he is an interesting case study. Because I'm conflicted on him like you. I'm conflicted on him as a personality manager and all of that, and his ability to develop young talent, and because we really haven't seen him do that. And I do feel like I have a little resentment because I do feel like he's wasting the latter stages of Steph Curry's career, one of my favorite players of all time. But, I mean, he has won 4 championships. He did coach a 73-win team. I mean, you know, like, there are some things that he's got under his belt.
Yeah, he does.
That force us to look at his legacy and figure out where, I mean, do you put him in that next rung? Do you put him with a Chuck Daly? Do you put him with a Rudy T?
See,
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's take a moment and examine his legacy just for a bit.
See, here's the thing. Like, I feel that there are great basketball minds.
Right.
There's great basketball coaches.
Sure.
And then you have great coaches with a great basketball mind. I think Steve Kerr is a great basketball mind.
Okay.
I never really thought Steve Kerr was a great coach.
And you know,
I thought he was a good coach that had exceptional talent around him from top to bottom.
Generational.
I mean, you can even look at his coaching staff. Yeah. I mean, like, Alvin Gentry, say what you want as a head coach, but if you're talking like offensive schemes,
absolutely, yeah.
and I mean, he knows his basketball. So, especially when they were early and they were developing that culture. And I mean, let's be honest, when Steph Curry finishes, he's going to be what? Top 7 player ever?
Yeah, I mean,
no
less than top 10 in my opinion.
Yeah, like I'm not. I mean, I have my own feelings about it that we'll get to when it's up, when the book's written.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
when it's time to discuss it, sure. If we're talking like impact, doing what you're paid
on
for,
style of play.
Yeah, I mean, like Steve Kerr has been fortunate, but I mean, there's something to be said to know when to push the right buttons.
Sure,
and again, being an astute basketball mind, I think you pick up how to do that from being up under a Phil Jackson, being up under a Greg Popovich, being around a Mike D'Antoni.
Yep.
When you're talking, about offense and space and pace and things of that. So, and even back before that with Lute Olson.
Sure.
You get what I'm saying?
Yep, absolutely.
I think he has an uncanny ability to absorb basketball information and strategy, and then also be able to surround himself with coaches that can implement it and teach it to different, personalities and just kind of stir it. You know what I mean? But I think if like maybe you strip him down, and put him I don't think he's as good a coach as say a Chuck Daly.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
I agree.
I don't think he's as good a coach as a Larry Brown.
Yeah.
And like you say, they don't mention a Larry Brown with the Phils and the Pops,
right?
And those guys, where I think they should, if we're talking basketball mind and
Sure,
coach.
yes,
you get what I'm saying,
right? Just ability to manage personalities and
and I
call
think
sets and
but I mean, good, but not great.
Right.
But he has all of the accolades where you have to let him in the room.
Yeah, no doubt.
You get what I'm saying? But, I do think there are some guys that have less, like does Rick Adelman win with those Warrior teams?
I mean, listen, Steph is winning some championships.
But you get what I'm saying, though?
Yes.
Like, and
Steph and KD together, they're winning some championships.
And Klay Thompson.
Yeah, I mean, they're winning some championships.
These cats was bringing Andre Iguodala and Sean Livingston off the bench, dog.
Yeah, I mean, no, listen, them teams winning some championships.
Leandro Barbosa, they forget about that team.
No doubt.
So and again, Steve Kerr has more basketball knowledge in his probably missing pinky toenail than
we're talking about in the Pantheon of great coaches. We're talking about him with
Chuck Daly in the comments like, how many teams have you coached? Man, look, man.
Did I mention myself or did I mention Chuck Daly and Rudy T? You talking about Larry Brown? We talking about other great coaches. Please don't conflate the situation. We're talking.
So
go ahead.
Where do you rank Steve Kerr with his contemporaries now, or their past as they when they were winning and
So listen, I have to. If I put all of my biases aside, he's definitely the greatest active head coach right now.
Okay,
that doesn't mean he's the best.
Okay,
and this is the conversation that I get into all the time. The difference between greatest and best. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I think that when you have the GOAT debate, and I don't want to get too much off into those weeds, but a lot of times, guys, because I'm like, listen, with LeBron, if you want to make the argument that LeBron is better than Michael Jordan, I think that's a conversation we can have. I don't think there's any argument that he's greater. And that's always the case that I make. I'm like, there's no argument that he's greater. There might be an argument that he's better. You can think that, you can think that he's more complete, he a better rebounder, whatever, because I'm not going to litigate that right now. But And that's always so I'm like, Steve Kerr is definitely the greatest active head coach. I think the best active head coach is Eric Spoelstra, quite frankly.
Okay.
If I'm just talking about X's and O's, execution, who I would want to coach my team, it would be Eric Spoelstra. But I do think that you can't discount what Steve Kerr has done. Like you just can't. He's the greatest active head coach. But and I think that he's in that rung just below the Mount Rushmore, because I think that Mount Rushmore, as currently constructed, is untouchable. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think those four, they're untouchable with what they've done and what they accomplished over the time that they accomplished it. I don't think you can touch them, but I think they in that next. He's in that next tier. I mean, I just don't see how you could not put him in that next tier. And I agree with you. There are different standards. There's different ways to look at what makes a great coach. You know what I'm saying? Like, is it the X's and O's? Is it his ability to manage personalities?
Because, I mean, I'm big, especially when it comes to coaching. I'm big on teaching, man.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of and not to say that Steve Kerr doesn't do that, but I think there are other coaches that do that extremely bad. I think even our coach does that better than Steve Kerr.
I wouldn't let Steve Kerr near my young team at all. I just wouldn't. Like, even with Steph and them, like, they was already established and rolling when he got there. Yeah. Mark Jackson really got them established, rolling, and confident. Right. And Steve Kerr came and took the reins.
Yeah, Steve Kerr kind of unlocked Draymond a little bit.
Correct.
I'll give him credit for that. Yeah. I mean, and that was huge. I mean, the DHO with Draymond and Steph will go down in history as one of the most devastating combinations in the history of basketball.
And like you said, I like because I didn't consider his basketball mind, but I do like the offense that he put them in, which is a version of the triangle. I do like the offense that they ran for all those years. Mm-hmm. It was very hard to contain Steph, and teams tried. You know what I'm saying?
Double elevator doors, and all that crazy.
Yeah, like it was
shots.
Yeah, it was a lot of there was a lot of creativity. So, but let's move on.